All right, everyone, welcome. For those who are here live, hello. For those who are watching on my YouTube channel after I upload this video, guten Tag. So I'm just gonna say, I have a lot to say with a little bit to say. Like, I really don't know how long this is gonna be. I'm just gonna keep going until I get what I need to be, like what I need to say out. This isn't gonna be freaking edited. It's just gonna be straight up plucked from my Twitch. Hopefully it comes through and everything's all right, because Twitch was compromised and I tried to do two-step verification, and now that it's up, I can no longer transfer my YouTube videos or my Twitch videos to my YouTube. I don't know why. They need to get that together, because Mixer literally allowed you to download it directly from Mixer. So I really don't understand the problem. The reason why it's hard for me to do that is because when I play certain games, an example, Resident Evil 8, I tried to upload and there was something wrong with it. It was corrupted, and it's not my end, because I freaking tried to do it on every computer I have. And it just didn't work. So Twitch is really terrible. They're freaking monopolizing on the fact that people are trying to make money. And it's hard to make money right now, and it's been hard to make money for a very long time. And they're just trying to help the people who they actually care about, the people who have like a bunch of views and whatnot. They don't care about little small channels that they're actually getting their bread and butter from, because there are more small channels than big channels. I don't know if they realize that, but whatever. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about these Welcome to Raccoon City trailers that everybody was waiting for. That's what we've been waiting for. Like, everyone was like, we almost had the freaking Crapcom stands, the Crapcom like sucker offer, jacker offers. Like, we almost had them all. We almost had them. But the trailer dropped, and then they're automatically saying, this is so great. Oh my goodness. This is wonderful. This is great. Oh, going back to the roots. Y'all are just naysayers. Y'all would be mad at anything they did. Y'all would be mad at this, that, and the other. Literally going over any logic. Going directly past go. They freaking didn't stop. Not even considering what's missing from this that does not make it a Resident Evil movie, honestly. Here's an example, okay? When you take certain characters out, it's one thing to take certain characters out that don't have anything to do with the plot. That without them, things don't make sense. That's another thing. Like, okay. Before even looking at this freaking garbage, we have to consider what we're getting. And let me remind you, for all who sitting here and saying this is great, they're going back to their roots, this is going to be a scary game, or this is going to be a scary movie, this is going to be just like the games. Oh, even if it's not like the games, then just play the games. Excuse me, every time somebody has something to say to make me feel like, oh, well, maybe I need to give this a chance, I go back to reality. This is what we are getting from Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City movie. Sony Pictures. Freaking Paul Anderson has his fingers in it. 1. Jill Valentine, I don't care what she looks like. Because guess what? She still looks like Jill Valentine. She's very, very light-skinned. Just goes to show, y'all don't care if someone's light-skinned when they're supposed to be dark-skinned, but if they're light-skinned and they're played by someone who is still light-skinned, they just have particular like traits that make you think of somebody else. You don't like it. That's real interesting. We never get to choose the people that portray dark-skinned black women. They're always light-skinned, Zoe Saldana, freaking every single person under the sun. So shut up about that. Shut up. What we're getting is freaking, what's it called? We're getting Jill Valentine with Albert Wesker. We're getting Jill Valentine with Albert Wesker. That already ruins it. It already ruins it, soils it. It's good for nothing to me. And it should be to you. But since you like to say, let's give things a chance, when we don't have to. This isn't freaking food. This isn't freaking, like, this isn't freaking water. This isn't freaking money. Literally, this is negative money. You are literally taking your money and throwing it in the trash for this. To not watch it is another problem. That I'll get into in a second. But we have Jill Valentine being in a relationship with her superior. Supposedly, maybe they changed it to where freaking Wesker's just the same rank as them, and they're not, like, he's not nobody's captain, and he's just some rookie cop like freaking Leon S. Kennedy. Who knows? Anything's up in the air. And I'll get to what is the biggest problem in a second. But one of the biggest problems, Jill Valentine simping for Albert Wesker, who is a villain. Supposedly, the villain that we're supposed to be dealing with is freaking William Birkin. Okay, duh. Freaking duh. Okay, whatever. That goes to freaking Resident Evil 2. But Albert Wesker is supposed to be the villain. He's supposed to be, like, why do you take that out? It's like making, okay, this is an example. Let's make a freaking Gotham movie, right? Or Gotham Batman thing, right? So let's make Batman the villain. Let's do that. Let's make Batman the villain. One can make the argument that Batman's already the villain. But we are supposed, he is like hero coded. Everyone knows he's hero coded. We can make the argument that Batman is a villain. Billionaire, fighting crime on his own. When he could use that money to freaking put these people away for good, he decides to beat up the Joker, have him kill a couple thousand people, and then put him back in a place where he's just gonna get broken out again. He is the villain to me, but he is coded as the hero. Let's make a Gotham movie about Batman and make him the villain. Not only that, let's make him dirt poor. This isn't freaking Arthurian legend where you can just say maybe this happens sometimes, maybe. We are close enough to the reference point of freaking Batman to know who Batman is, characteristics, his traits. Now let's not even get into who can play Batman and all that mess. Y'all love to have white people do everything until it's time to do something else, okay? So let's just go back. Jill Valentine is in a relationship with Albert Wesker. That's really interesting. So, like I said in my previous video, link is in the description to all the videos that I've ever talked about freaking Welcome to Raccoon City. If you'd like to go look at that, go look at my freaking Resident Evil playlist, see everything that I've done Resident Evil. You can go look at my freaking playthroughs of Code Veronica and 0 was not completed. Duh. So, aside from that, Jill is going to look like Boo Boo the Fool if they ultimately make Albert Wesker the villain, as I've said previously. Not only that, let's just say he's not a villain. Let's say he's a hero. He's going to be a hero in all this somehow. Why did you make him Albert Wesker? Why didn't you make him Barry Burton? Oh, here's another problem I have with Welcome to Raccoon City. Where's Barry? Where's Barry? Barry. Like, where's Barry? Honestly, for real. Like, let's talk about it, shall we? Why did you put Albert Wesker in this position that Barry kind of took before? Let me tell you, if you guys don't know my stance on freaking the age limit and age and all that, I'm not interested in anybody trying to be in a relationship with someone 5 years older than them. Okay, so let me get that out the way. If you want to know more about my stance on that, I have talked about it a little bit in my consent video. Go to my channel and go see that. I haven't really dug deep down into everything that I believe about that. Like, I think it should, the freaking 18, it should be way higher than that. It should be higher than 16, because freaking in South Carolina it's like 16 or something. Stupid dumb, stupid redneck dumb. But I digress from that. I don't think Barry was a love interest for Jill. However, their relationship could have been coded that way. The way he interacts with her. They could be friends, but as we all know, they don't make people friends. They ship them. And then when we ship them, they're mad. Like, it's really interesting. It's like, whatever. Okay. That's a whole different story. Like I said, this isn't going to be edited. This is all going to be in here. So if I have to backtrack and all that, it's going to happen in one take, because I don't care enough about Welcome to Raccoon City to even edit this video. I don't care. I'm sitting at the beginning page of The Evil Within, because I'm going to play after I'm done talking about this, ranting about it, because I've seen too many people talking about, like, too many popular people, all the people who want to like keep sucking Capcom off because they think maybe one time they're going to get a shout out from them or something, or maybe a voice acting gig or something, maybe something, if they keep cosplaying or doing something. If they keep sucking them off, they can enjoy something without sucking them off. If they're going to keep sucking them off, someone has to set them straight. And I don't understand why, when people actually give reasons to not like this, we're naysayers. Say that to the real naysayers. Say that to the racists who were like, oh, Jill's crap because she's very, very light skinned, lighter than a paper bag. Honestly, don't tell me she's black. You know who you consider black and who you don't consider black, and she is the least likely to be considered black among a bunch of different shades of black people. Don't come at me. That is my stance on Jill Valentine. To sit here and to tell us and gaslight us and say, this is good, what are you talking about? It insults not only my intelligence, but it also lines Capcom's and everyone who's associated with freaking Resident Evil now. I don't know how many people are, I don't care. Lines their pockets with gold. Gold. Because they don't have to try. That's why we got this freaking trailer almost freaking 60 freaking, what's it called, 30 days left before it comes out, November 24th or something. However long I don't even remember, but it's like almost 30. It's almost 30. It's like, I don't know, but honestly, are you serious? You're going to tell us? You're going to really say there's nothing wrong with this? And the moment you saw the trailer, everything that you thought, the same problems is still there. Like, Barry's still missing. Like I said, the person whose job it was to get information on this crap, because they don't care about you, they don't care about me, they don't care about this series. The intern that they didn't pay to go play 2 seconds of the game to tell him what freaking was in there, they played 2 seconds and then they heard, where's Barry? And then they're like, I guess he died. They don't know what happened to Barry. And for them to not have Barry in the trailer and make it seem like he's going to come out of nowhere and then be like, aha, and then everyone's going to be like, aha to you. Stupid. That would be stupid. That would be stupid dum-dums. Because for one, why go through all of this just to get people mad so that when people watch it and say there's Barry, which I highly doubt, but that is a possibility. It's a freaking ability because, like, that's just something I imagine Paul Anderson doing, that freaking lunatic who made all the other Resident Evil freaking movies with his wife as the main character, when you could have literally called that crap bioweapon, freaking idiotic bioweapon movie, and it would have made a ton more money than trying to freaking get all the Resident Evil people to come in, when you would have gotten them anyway because it was a zombie movie and it was action packed. You would have gotten that crowd, at least 1/3 of it anyway. But instead, you freaking banked and freaking caped on the fact that Resident Evil was in the beginning of your title. And that's what they're doing now. And you could say, oh, it's not the title. It is a Welcome to Raccoon City. Like I said, it didn't come out their butt crack. It didn't come out their butt crack. They got that from somewhere. Shut up. You freaking just saying that just to cape for them. Is this your mom? Is this your dad? Like the person who's getting all this money, the person who's freaking also too much. There's too much to even freaking talk about. I feel like I've been going on and on and on and on, and I haven't said the biggest thing that, like I said, Barry's missing. Freaking Jill Valentine and Albert Wesker, who Albert Wesker doesn't even have his shades. I haven't even really talked about that because I'm like, okay, it's a given. It's freaking given. It's just like Batman. Like, I have to go back to something that you know. Everyone knows Batman, so I'm going to keep using Batman. I'm going to keep using whatever freaking I can come up with because this is live and this is all me. This is all my words. This is all my brain. Like, freaking go off. But it's like making a Batman movie and then Batman's outfit is pink. What purpose does that serve? What purpose does that serve? I repeat, what purpose does that serve? What does this even mean? Why does Albert Wesker not have glasses? What they did was they looked at this and they were like, why is he wearing glasses inside? That's so super strange. Maybe, perhaps, we should just freaking take it out because that doesn't make any sense. It didn't make sense there. It didn't. It really didn't. He took a picture in a lab coat with freaking glasses on, but he did that because he just looks like a random white person. They were trying to distinguish it through a bunch of random white people that he was the villain, and it made him more ominous. So there you go. There's a freaking example, reason why. And then Rebecca Chambers is missing. People want to, okay, you can come at me and say Rebecca Chambers isn't even that important. Is Vickers that important? They put Vickers in there. Okay, let's talk about Lisa Trevor, shall we? So that Party City Mask garbage thing looked a lot better in the trailer than it did in that picture. Why did they just push out pictures a long time ago and then put the trailer literally almost a month before, little over a month before this crap's supposed to come out? Are you serious? They're doing this because they know they're crap. They have to wait for us to see it. Their freaking marketing on this movie is garbage. And for you to make this ethnically ambiguous Jill Valentine, and then to not freaking use her barely, except when the light's shining on her and you can't really tell, or she's really in the dark, and okay, fine, you can say that's a nitpick, but they do things specifically. Just like certain things are taken out for trailers in certain countries, it's because this, that, and the other. Don't assume things were done by happenstance. There's always a reason. And you could be like, oh, well, the freaking dude, the actor that they got to play Albert Wesker couldn't wear the glasses indoors because he said it was too dark. Well, then you find an actor who can. And maybe, how about while you're freaking at it, while you're freaking out the Walmart store for freaking actors and actresses, maybe you can freaking get someone that looks like Albert Wesker. Someone that even looks remotely close like Albert Wesker. You could put him in a room full of just a bunch of white people, and you could not guess that that was the person they picked for Albert Wesker. He's freaking 6'9". Why wasn't he a tyrant? We haven't heard hide nor hair about the tyrants, the BOWs at all. We get to see the freaking lickers for the billionth time on screen. For the billionth time on screen. And then the dogs that look CGI'd like crap. It literally looked like it was taken directly from the games. 1990 freaking whatever it was, 8 or something. Those games, not even the new one. Freaking, it just plopped straight from there. Honestly. So, there's so many things wrong with this movie for anyone to say, oh, this is perfect, this is great, and then in another breath, well, if you want the game just like it, then play the game. Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that, because why don't you go tell them if they want to make some money, They need to come up with their own story and characters first. Don't bring it to the consumer. Bring it to the supplier. Because last time I checked, Resident Evil existed before November 24th. It existed before this month. It existed long before freaking Paul Anderson even looked at it and was like, oh, this looks like my pet project. He's still pet projecting this crap. And you expect us to just gobble and swallow it down our guzzles. Like, freaking, are you serious? Guzzle it down? You want us to guzzle it down? No. And, oh, we'll let people enjoy things. Enjoy trash. By all means, enjoy trash. Just don't be butthurt when I freaking explain how trash it is. It's trash. It is what it is. So much so that I didn't even feel the need to edit a video and edit out my mistakes. I'm not going to. You're going to get everything. You're going to get it raw. Live and in stereo, boy. Let's go. Because I saw those two trailers and the first one was trash. The second one was a little better. And like that dude that was playing Chief Irons, he's the same dude from Gotham. Ironic twist. What a twist. Freaking, he's always some freaking dude. Freaking, okay. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about Leon S. Kennedy, the man, freaking, the legend himself. The freaking superhero that you created, but you're gonna laugh that freaking Chris punched a boulder one time in one game. But in every single movie that Leon S. Kennedy is in, he's freaking sonic superhero, one of the boys. Okay, that's not funny, right? That's not funny. That's not funny that freaking in Vendetta he was freaking using a freaking motorcycle to attack people. It wasn't funny that he freaking exploded like a child. Freaking car, freaking exploded a car with a child in it. Like, really? You don't think that's hilarious? You don't think that's insane? You think that's normal? You think anything like what's the bar set for normal in a game, a video game series about zombies and science fiction? Tell me where the bar is so I can meet you there. I got my bags packed and I'm ready to go. Where's the bar? Where's the bar for normal? Don't tell me that freaking it was a disgrace that freaking I can't even talk about. I'm going to go back to what I was talking about because y'all are getting me. Oh my gosh. Leon S. Kennedy. For those who were talking about, in my first video, I talked about it and I'm owning it. I was mistaken. The dude that plays freaking Beck in freaking Victorious on freaking Nickelodeon a long freaking time ago, that freaking disgusting show, yes, it's disgusting. Weird, strange, freaking Schneider Schlop or whoever made it. Beck, who's playing Leon S. Kennedy. He's Asian. He's Asian. So he's more accurate to freaking Japanese culture. And I'm not saying he's Japanese because he's not Japanese. He's just Asian. He could be considered Asian. He could be that if we're going to play this game where we have to put labels on people because of a different like ethnic background, and it means so much to y'all to know he's not even Hispanic. So I am sick and tired of people saying that he looks like Louis Serra, because I think you are either very much so racist or very much so mistaken, and you haven't played Resident Evil 4 in a very long time. Because every single person in Resident Evil 4, from Salazar to Sadler to Louis Serra to freaking the cops that freaking brought you down to that stupid freaking village, were post-colonialism Hispanic. Post-colonialism. For those who don't know what that means very light skin, lighter than a paper bag, brown paper bag, very light skinned. This boy is very much so more, he's darker than freaking the girl who's playing Jill Valentine. He's darker than her. And those are the two people that they love to talk about. Oh, you did it wrong. You did it oopsies. And I can agree with everyone because I freaking have eyes, and a freaking clock can be like freaking right twice a day or so. Maybe even less than that, because you guys are just so dumb. By dumb, I mean stupid dumb. To say that Louis Serra and this dude, they look like he can play, he may be able to play Carlos, who is another person who they kind of helped a little in Resident Evil 3 remake to look a little bit more like he's ethnic. Because as I've said in my previous video of The Evil Within, they love to put Jimenez and Honduras and all that at the end of people's last names, and they'd be looking like Caillou. They'd be looking like Caillou. They never put any dark typist in the Heights. Yeah, a disgrace. Disgrace. They always love to be putting freaking plaster colored ethnic people and say, yep, that's what they look like everywhere. That's what they look like everywhere. That's what you say when you do that every single time. For you to sit there and say that Leon S. Kennedy, the dude who played Beck in Victorious, looks anything like Louis Serra, it is infuriating, because Louis Serra didn't even look as dark as this light, very light skinned with kinky hair, mind you, kinky hair Jill Valentine we're getting. So thank you for your comments about how any of you put one drop rule applies in 2021. I see. Y'all love to play this game and act like colorism isn't a thing until it becomes a thing. And then it suddenly stops being that thing when it's somebody that you don't mind being a different color, a different shade of something. Example, freaking that woman that I can't remember what it was called because I don't care. It didn't bring me in. They made her light skinned, and she was like someone who was very dark skinned. She was overweight. She was a lot older than the woman that they are freaking using. And that's not only colorists, but it's ageist, because y'all love to make women like freaking infantized and young, really, for some reason. Y'all love to freaking make them younger than they're supposed to be, and make the guys older than they're supposed to be old, crusty, freaking ugly, hideous, and still be getting jobs. Men. Women, once you're 30, they're already looking for someone who's 16 to replace you. Don't at me. That's just how it is, and it needs to stop. But back to Welcome to Raccoon City. Like I said, there are so many problems. Like, and then, oh my goodness, this whole adding Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, and then, oh, let me talk about my favorite. Oh my goodness, let me get a drink because my throat is dry. Code Veronica. They're gonna put that crap that wasn't even in 1 or 2. Literally, the funny, it's super duper funny. And don't, y'all, you can use this as ammunition. Go in the comments. I'm ready to scrap with anyone who wants to argue with me about this freaking crap. I'm ready. But might I suggest you watching my freaking previous videos before you just look at this one and then say, what about this, what about that, what about that? Because if I'm leaving it out, I'm 100% certain that I said it in the past freaking 3 videos that I discussed this crap in. I'm 100% certain. But if you got something else to say, you can say it in the comments. Let's go. What about Resident Evil freaking Welcome to Raccoon City crap? I'm ready. Let's talk about Code Veronica. Code Veronica is one of my favorite games. Not only is it one of the best Resident Evils, but it freaking deserves to be Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 should not exist. Yes. Yeah, some of those small percentage, those Zoomers and whatever, boomers that are going to come in my comments and say, well, actually, Code Veronica should have been Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 3 should not exist. It was just going to be Nemesis. Okay, dude, you can keep chomping your gums until they fall out of your mouth. What did I say, though? I said Resident Evil Code Veronica should be Resident Evil 4. Not that, oh, well, all that crap that you just said. I am fully aware of that, and I have acknowledged that in tons of videos. What I'm saying is based on, since I want Jill Valentine to actually still have her own, because she's barely hanging on by a thread, because the fact that you would even bring that to me, you're sitting there thinking that Resident Evil 3 should not be in the installments, the numerals. Like, you're freaking telling me the only woman that has any agency, and she was damselized in Resident Evil 5, to plop up another woman who is also hated for other reasons, Sheva Alama. But you're gonna tell me that in order for Code Veronica to be a numeral, it has to take out another woman's game. That's what you're telling me? No. Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 are actually the worst freaking games in Resident Evil history, in the series, to use and say this is what we're going to base this movie on. And a lot of people speculated that maybe Resident Evil 1 is going to be in flashbacks, which would be stupid dumb, and let me explain to you why. I have made a few videos about this new Mortal Kombat movie, not the old ones, and I haven't done a video about the old ones because it's just not on my radar to do right now. If you want me to, then say so, and I will make the video, but I'm not going to make a video that's not wanted unless I want it as well. and so this new Mortal Kombat movie, I've said everything I need to say about that. If you want to go see my opinions and hear my opinions about it, freaking go to my channel. Go to my Mortal Kombat playlist. It is really easy to navigate. Look at the dates, see which one was first, and start there. Mortal Kombat, this freaking movie, that they did so many strange things that I'm not going to talk about here. What it was a prequel to the actual games. Because even in every movie, and even in every game, they died and they came back to life somehow, or something happened. As time went on, they had to make excuses for why people were coming back to life, i.e. revenants, i.e. using Quan Chi a lot more, i.e. using time travel a lot more. They had to make example, even though really they didn't have to in the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. When fifth one started making things start be strange, sixth one, seventh one, eighth one, what's going on, ninth one, 10th one, it's just crap now. It's just crap now. It's just garbage. 11 one is one of the worst ones. I hate when you add time travel when it didn't need to exist. Like I said, in the previous games, people would die and you would get your own alternate ending based on who you won at the end with, and everyone would be dead. Everyone would be dead. And then it just so happened that everyone's back to life now, and guess what? There's more characters in part 2, part 3, part 4, and then people just ate it up. So I don't know why they had to add all this extra crap. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about something else. But before we get back to what I was talking about, let's talk about the Mortal Kombat, the reason why I even brought it up. Mortal Kombat, the way they did it, they added characters and took away characters that didn't make any sense. Why have Melina when Melina was based on Katana? Katana was absent. That made no sense. They did things in and out of order. This Welcome to Raccoon City thing, if that's what they're going to do, they should have planned on making more movies. But guess what? They saw Paul Anderson, he just kept going. Even though people were complaining, he still kept going, which is very interesting because guess what? Those people who still suck off Capcom will still say that those movies were good. And I'm fine with people liking those movies and not knowing anything about Resident Evil. What bothers me a little bit is when people know full well that Resident Evil exists and they just allow Paul S.W., whatever his freaking name is, Anderson, crap, garbage. They're gonna just accept it. They're gonna know what happened in the game and accept that crap. And accept this random person coming in. Like, build your own character. Like freaking Cole Young. They brought Cole Young in here to usher us into a series. And the difference between that prequel crap that happened in Mortal Kombat that I said is disgusting because they should have just put what they wanted in that one movie and not have thought about having multiple movies and having us tune in next time because it's not a series. The difference between that and Resident Evil 1 and 2 being in the same movie is the fact that they're freaking, the game Resident Evil and the game Mortal Kombat are two different games. One came from a freaking arcade. The other freaking was a story-led game. Freaking one had some story, but there were multiple endings. And yes, there are multiple endings with other Resident Evils. I know this isn't my first rodeo. What I will say is that we have canon. We have canon that you don't have to keep going back and forth and saying, well, this could have happened, this could have maybe happened. We've got canon. We're at freaking Resident Evil, what, 9 now? We're about to have 9. There's a canon. So it's like really pointless to put everything, all your eggs in one basket, not only have Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, and then for some reason, because someone told him in his DMs, by the way, technically, well, actually, let me move my glasses real quick before I do Bean Sharp Zero situation. Technically, if you hypothetical speak, and if you have some speech, kind of maybe, a long time ago, they were going to replace Resident Evil 3 freaking Nemesis with Code Veronica, and that should be the original 3. He was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Let me act like I'm cool and put Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2 without even looking at the story and seeing how that makes sense. And then put Code Veronica because someone came into my DMs. I didn't even check. Someone came into my DMs and told me that that's what happened. Let me do that. That's what he did. That's what he did. Because Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 are the worst Resident Evils to go, like, the worst that it could possibly be is freaking put Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 5. And even then, oh my gosh, it really doesn't. It really isn't, because Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 5 kind of relate, because Sheva's parents were killed by these group of soldiers, which could have possibly been Billy Cohen's freaking group of men who killed the people in Africa. It actually makes more sense. Let me explain for those who are playing dumb. Resident Evil 1 takes place in the Spencer Mansion. The people who are in it are Barry Burton, Rebecca Chambers, two people who are absent. You can play games and say that they don't matter, but why does Vickers matter? Why do we care about Brad then? Why is Brad replacing Barry? Albert Wesker, who doesn't look anything like his character. He should have been playing a tyrant because he's 9'11", freaking super duper freaking tall. He should have been in some prosthetics and played a tyrant if he was even going to get a job here. He is probably someone's baby nephew, because I don't understand how he got this job. And you can play games and say the same thing about, oh, you want me to say that about Jill or something, or Asian Leon S. Kennedy. Freaking go off. I don't care. I think it's interesting that skin color triggers you more than even freaking story accuracy. Story accuracy is incorrect. Jill Valentine and Albert Wesker were not an item. So what is to be of freaking Chris Redfield? And then making freaking Claire and freaking Chris be orphans in that orphanage and then be friends with like Lisa or something. Make it strange, make it real weird. It's real weird. It's getting weird. You have to do some convoluted backflips to come up with this conclusion. I think it's interesting. I think it's super duper interesting, because I'm just sitting here and it just makes no sense. Like saying all this stuff together and realizing, okay, so Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, okay. Resident Evil 2, I gotta go to Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2 takes place in Raccoon City. Welcome to Raccoon City. Welcome to Raccoon City. Why were you banking? If it's going to just be freaking backflips and freaking going back in time to see what happened at the Spencer Mansion, why did you even include it? You giving too much away. And by that, I mean, you didn't give it away soon enough. But you most definitely gave it away in the pictures that we were going back to the Spencer Mansion. And why would you do that? And then the Code Veronica thing where, like, okay, so Claire's like this freaking conspiracy theorist when Chris is the one who uncovers things and you can say, okay, oh, you're just gonna be mad at anything because isn't that a woman getting more? Like I said before, no one needs to rob anybody of their character to serve another character's purpose. You shouldn't be stealing freaking scenes. Like, someone commented under one of my videos, I can't remember which one it is because it's literally doesn't matter to me. Oh, so you're saying that freaking Carlos outshined Jill or something, having something to do in Resident Evil 3 remake? That's just nonsense. I like how you say something that I didn't say and then saying it's nonsense because you said it out your mouth. I didn't. What I said, and I'll elaborate on what I said. Jill was robbed of certain scenes to serve a greater purpose to Carlos. More scenes were given to other men in Resident Evil 3 remake, taken away from Jill. So what I'm saying now is you don't need to take characteristics and traits from freaking someone else to uplift someone else. Make that character better with what you have. How about get some actors and actresses that are gonna like do the part justice? How about that? Why don't you get some writers that are better so that freaking when they speak it sounds like human beings and not aliens from freaking outer worlds? I really like, and let's get into the Code Veronica thing. Like I said, completely skipping over Nemesis. How are you going to do that? And then you got rid of Mr. X so that Lisa Trevor could shine more. Lisa Trevor wasn't having conversations with people. She was groaning and moaning, maybe mother, because she was lonely and she wanted her mom. I just don't understand how you got this convoluted story. And some people are going to be mad if it was a verbatim from the games to movie. Some people are going to be mad at that. Oh, I wanted something different. You want something different? Then go to the thing, the freaking Resident Evil Apocalypse and all that. Get freaking Mike Epps. Freaking go watch that crap. Freaking go watch Carlos Not Carlos in the form of the Magi. Go do that. I'm sitting here and I'm still waiting for something that is like what I played. And then you're going to try to entice me and try to get me to side with you on garbage by saying Code Veronica's in it. That doesn't make me feel good. It actually makes me feel terrible because you're going to botch Code Veronica when they are not even Capcom, to let everyone know when I say Capcom's at fault, they are, because they have control over where Resident Evil goes. They have control whether or not Resident Evil freaking toys are sold at McDonald's. They have choice. They have the decision whether or not their likeness, the characters' likenesses are in a certain place. They had to have said yes. Yes to no Barry Burton. Yes to no Rebecca Chambers. And yes to Code Veronica in this freaking movie. Maybe that's all we get. Maybe that we just get that little freaking video of the twins. But you already showed us, so it wasn't a secret. Yes, we wanted a freaking trailer, but why are you going to tell us everything? Why are you going to show us everything? And maybe they didn't because we haven't seen it yet. But guess what? We definitely see there's freaking liquors for the billionth time. And yeah, like I said, liquors can be in there. I don't care. I'm just going to let you know the tallies are way high up on how many times we've seen liquors. And that's just factual. That's fact. It's fact. Not fiction, fact. You live in fiction. What's fact is we've seen liquors so many times. It's fact that they've only been able to get the dogs on screen. It's fact that we have never seen a freaking hunter in the games. It's freaking... I don't even know how they're gonna do Code Veronica. I'm scared because Code Veronica is one of the best Resident Evil games. It deserves a remake before Resident Evil 4, when Resident Evil 4 still looks fine. Like I said, it looks like Walnus or whatever his name is, and Gromit skin color, like freaking the color of everything looks freaking very monotone, freaking very happy freaking Kwanzaa Charlie Brown or whatever. It just looks like Charlie Brown. It looks like freaking Charlie Brown colors, freaking autumn everywhere. Not Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. But to be honest, it's insulting to have Code Veronica in here. And like I said, go off and say, oh, you think that it's just, you're gonna be upset at anything. Whatever, bye. If you're gonna keep saying that, bye. You don't have to be here. But for people who want to hear the truth, you can stay. The truth is, they're making us choose. They always make us choose. They always make people choose between one woman or another. There can be many kings in the world, but there can only be one queen of everything, right? Interesting. So you're going to skip over Nemesis for some reason, even though Resident Evil 1 has Jill Valentine in it. You're going to go directly to Code Veronica because someone slid in your DMs and told you that that's what happened, and you don't have to listen to them because you're not listening to us anyway. Freaking, you're making Lisa Trevor more of a character and whatever. I just feel like this is his pet project. I feel like he's trying to sharpen his craft for something greater. I don't think he really cares about Code Veronica or freaking Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2. I think he just chose those things because he was told that that's how it's supposed to chronologically go. And maybe that's something that was on the freaking cutting board, but we didn't see what was on the cutting board. We saw what was. And I don't care what was on the cutting board. I just care about what makes sense. And jumping from Resident Evil 3 Nemesis to Resident Evil 4 in 7 years just makes no sense when you could just do like a couple months and then go directly into Code Veronica after Resident Evil 3. That's what I think. I don't know what else to say. I'm not here to change anybody's mind anymore, because I see too many people talking about this actually looks legit. I will literally read some tweets. I'm gonna go on Twitter right now and I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna see underneath the freaking trailer that was posted. Here are some quotes of things that I saw. Here's my tweet. I bet people will be mad at anything they did. This looks great, even though a lot of key components are abandoned. If you want the same thing, play the games. Y'all just want something to complain about. Like, no, we don't. I would much rather not complain about this. Like I said, I would much rather not even make a video. I'm not even going to. I literally, once I'm done with this, I am done talking about this movie. If I just so happen to find it free somewhere, if I can find it free somewhere, I will watch it. I'm not paying a cent. If it's on some place that I already have, HBO Max, if I have to buy it, I will not be buying it. I will sooner watch 5 seconds of the video of the freaking movie in small increments than waste my money on this crap. I would sooner do that. It's not worth it. Somebody's like, I don't know how they changed Leon and Claire's relationship, or how they made Claire a conspiracy theorist, or how they crashed a helicopter to the Spencer mansion. But other than those things, I thought it looked good. I look forward to watching it. Even after that. I think some people, to not look racist, they have to be like, oh, well, I think it's perfect. Like I said, Leon S. Kennedy isn't perfect. Jill Valentine isn't perfect. But you know who's worse? Who is Anglo-Saxon? Freaking Tom Hopper. Tom Hopper should not have been Albert Wesker. That was one of the worst casting decisions in the history of casting decision. I don't care what he sounds like. I don't care if he tried. I don't care. I don't. He doesn't look like him. So if we're going by looks and you guys want to play the look game, rather than just looking at skin tone and kinky hair, why don't you look and freaking stare at Tom Hopper and tell me with a straight face that that is Albert Wesker? The only thing that people have a problem with, the majority of people I see, CGI was a bit bad, to be honest. Let's hope for the best. Okay. And then I just think it's interesting because William Birkin looks like, what's that dude? That Charmin dude, ultra strong. That freaking dude that's in all white, that is the cleaner mascot for, like, whatever. He looks like that. That's what he looks like. He looks like that freaking cleaner dude. Someone said, yikes. They crammed like 2 games into one. 3 games. They crammed 3 games. And I don't care if that's like I said, I don't care if that's the only thing. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. All that crap was under wraps. That's why it was on an island. And you guys can play games and say, oh, well, they did that because it is a side game and they didn't know how to do things without doing things or whatever. I don't care. It came before Resident Evil 4. It came after Resident Evil 3. I don't understand why it wouldn't just be after Resident Evil 3. I don't understand why it wouldn't just be before Resident Evil 4. Someone said, I love it. And they're just referring to the girl that's playing Claire. They don't love it. They love the freaking Claire casting. I'm excited. I don't care. Yep, of course you're excited. I don't know how to feel. It didn't give off Resident Evil, especially freaking, I said, hey, yeah. Like, are you serious in my ear like that? Like, really? Really? Like, you didn't even, like, what I will say about those freaking Paul S.W. for freaking whatever his name is, Anderson freaking crap, the freaking music was okay. It was all right. I just think it was strange. It didn't fit with Resident Evil. It didn't. But I thought I would listen to that. Like, I've got freaking circles on my freaking iTunes list. That song is like, disconnect and self-destruct, one bullet at a time. Like that song. I like that song. I like a lot of other songs that were in that freaking movie. But it didn't fit the genre. It didn't fit the movies itself, like Resident Evil. I mean, those movies, like I said, call it something else, it would have made tons more money. Call it something else, call it Bio, call it B-I-O, and it would have made tons of more money. I'm coming at an hour, so I'm gonna stop. I'm done. Like, I'm done. There's nothing really else to say. If I miss something, I don't care, because I don't care about this enough to care. I can't be bothered. I cannot be bothered to care about this garbage. I'm about to stream freaking The Evil Within. I do believe it's like chapter 4 or something, or 5, I can't remember. But I'm about to do that, so I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. I'm just going to post it like this. I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to say, here you go, here it is, because I don't care. If you want to watch an hour of me freaking discussing this crap, that's fine. If you want to just go look at my other videos and get what I want, like what I wanted to tell you guys from that, you can go do that too. You can go to my freaking Resident Evil playlist and see every single thing that I've ever talked about Resident Evil if you want. That's fine. Resident Evil Code Veronica will always be better than Resident Evil 4. I hate Leon S. Kennedy, and I hope you guys have a good day.